first off, please chat. Let me know if you think that these people could be secretly brothers. It is mystifying. And other than that, it's a tale of two Ember decks. But what kind?
Dun, dun, dun. And both
Okay, now
players
we know.
undefeated. Yeah.
And now we know it is the kind that everyone goes, ooh, it's sour. It's the lemon lime of the discard variety. What lovingly we call lemon lime because, lemon lime.
Yeah. I'm very curious if this player actually watched coverage yesterday and was like, you know what? I'm switching to that. I think that looked awesome. It absolutely crushed. And I also want to do some crushing.
Yes. So I still need confirmation. Production might have said that it is possibly they're twins, but that can't be true. That'd be crazy if twins there's just alike. We named one Hal and one Mojaka, and then together they went to the tournament and they met in round 7. That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
But
We have Hal Brady versus Mojaka Brady.
yeah, so I don't know. The chat's not talking about it, so maybe it's just me that's kind of like, well. But either way, they should at least get a picture together, depending on how the match goes. They might say, I need to leave. But here we go. We're starting with a turn 1 Cinderella.
Yep.
No,
Cindy
love
and the
it.
Cindy.
And a Diablo, which says, show me what you got. What are we doing? And the answer is, it's a
Oh,
aggro.
we're doing Vinny things here.
I love this bird. Shout out to Skylar, who is one of the bounty players today. And shout out to, you took my toys and now I'm going to break yours. I'm Vinny. You sure about that?
Yeah, Mojaka, I believe the one who just was just able to defeat Quigley. So the hero in this situation, if you will.
Yes. Yeah, right. If you can take down Quigley, you can do anything. So we now know that there is going to be a storm a-coming, but he also knows I better start drawing cards. Well, he doesn't know that yet. He
Risking a quest into a Diablo.
He doesn't know how much time he has. And I don't know if he has any songs. And he might get a song any moment. Or did he? He did have a song. So
He had a Zeus, right?
Zeus. So yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
Cinderella.
not gonna say.
Yeah.
But
So
we could have left the Cinderella, ready.
oh, okay. So
not able to be challenged by a Diablo.
He said bold of you, and that's why it's risky. But at the end of the day, he got a lure, and yeah, that's a pretty risky move. But either way, he did it, and
at the end of the day, he is the much more aggressive version than the song version.
That's true.
Take all the lure you can get.
And that's a good point because he knows if he doesn't have any card draw, which he just lost a card here, which he couldn't use anyway, couldn't ink it and can't sing it for a while. Doesn't have any Ursula, Vanessa, so it's not the end of the world. But he is desperately saying, "I gotta get some card draw real quick because things are gonna heat up." And Hal is about to just fire off spectacularly into the drawing sun, but
right, especially when Mojika's draw step is also Hal's draw step.
yes,
now.
it's our draw step. We are brothers, maybe. Confirm, deny. It's tough to say, but together they will draw and talk about their childhood. And I do love this lady card because aggro, the people who don't like aggro, I'm always so amazed that for every deck there's a person out there that's saying that deck's the broken one. And I'm like, okay, well then look at these tournament results and tell me there's any single broken deck. But they love to say that aggro is ruining the game. But to every aggro there's a control. It's the beautiful yin and yang of it all.
Me and Liam just spoke about this, about how people like to discount how good aggro is, or try to say stuff like, well, it's kind of the brainless deck, and we think, actually, it's the big brain deck.
You have to be careful.
Yeah, you're taking all these little characters, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to win a game with them somehow.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to get value, even though we just saw Mermaid, Ariel specifically, get under the sea with we have 3 cards. We don't have enough to sing it yet, but in a moment,
we do as soon as we're ready, because the Ariel plus the Diablo.
Oh, she's a singer. That's the whole point. Yes, you're right.
This may be the first time we see something like actually sing that is a singer, because Grandma Tala has been putting in work this weekend, along with Maui Hero to All, some of the best singers in the game.
I don't want to say, I hate to be like, it's over, because people love to do that. But I mean, if this Under the Sea fires off, it's going to be a bad time.
Right. I'll say it. It's over.
It's rough. Yeah, because none of these cards have any benefit. Now, wait. Well, no, because I think the Vinny, it's whenever you're banished.
Yeah, it's when it's banished. Yeah.
Oh.
And then the Ursula, even there to clean up the Mr. Smee insult, meat injury.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, if anybody is kind of wondering, so something like Be Prepared, that is a banishment. This is placing them into the bottom of your deck, which is not a banish pile. It's a separate pile called your deck.
Right.
So there is no benefit. Vinny says, wait a minute. Hey,
And
buddy. That's
that's
it.
game.
It's
That's
just
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And that's crazy because he has no cards. He knows it's gonna be just one by one, and it's been a long enough day. He's played enough matches. He might be playing himself in a mirror. We don't know. And I'll get off of that, but I'm still
You don't
shocked.
have to. Please
I'm
don't.
just shocked that they both are like, we both have a hat and a black
Wait, one
T-shirt.
has a tattoo.
Okay, yeah, right. That's how we know.
Or
Uh,
it's a birthmark.
yeah, right. That's what we both got a tattoo to agree. So it's very, very, very interesting here. That yeah, it
I love how all of these discard decks that we've been watching on stream rarely get past 1 or 2 lore before they before the opponent decides I've had enough of this.
yeah. So so we have is it Mohica yeah, we'll just say called Mo here.
Probably Mohica.
Mohica, yeah, Mohica here. He can go fast, but man, a turn that was turn 3 under this. No, turn 4.
Turn 4.
Turn 4
Turn
board
4
wipe.
under the sea. Yeah.
And it doesn't always work. I mean, as we can see, any kind of if Mohica had any song removal, if that Cinderella was singing a song, all it took was just one less person, and then that
Right.
would have been a lot harder. And by a lot harder, I mean it wouldn't have happened. But
It'd be one less song without you.
and then and then that Vinny going, "Hey, I'm here to change the math," and Under the Sea saying, "What math?"
Yeah, Vinny's such a high roll card, right? Because when it's good, it is just bonkers good, and when it's bad, it's uninkable.
Yes, it is uninkable, and it's so fun. Being it's I mean, I think people who my people out there are the
Mhm.
Oswald fans, the Vinny fans, the Mulan reflecting.
The high roller.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love cards that when they pay off, you're like, I actually am a genius, and I invented this game. I am Mr. Lurkana's my dad. But then when they don't work, you're like, oh no. And yeah, when it's not inkable, it actually feels bad. And look at that little guy. He's still on the screen because he deserves to be there.
I know. I don't know why he looks so evil.
Because he's like, yes, sure. He says it's quite a predicament you're in. I'm glad it ain't me. And I'm so sorry about the Texas accent this morning, and now you have activated my Vinny accent. But we see some
Well,
fun little cards
It
here.
was probably just a Dallas accent because we are in Dallas, Texas, as Liam keeps telling
Oh no!
me.
Hey, no, don't. I learned last time. Like, even if you said like on social media, I loved going to Dallas, they're like, you mean Fort Worth? And I'm like, my goodness,
Yes.
these things you don't know, the traps you fall into. And here we go. We're gonna try it again. This time with removal.
Oh, drawing the one drop Diablo off the top,
Yeah,
and then doing that clever.
Oh,
I'll shuffle it one card in and then pull it right back out, so my opponent doesn't know.
Yeah, but he will find out in a second here.
Yeah, plethora of options to ink, which
Now it is tricky though because he's against the Cinderella, and okay, so he does now know because he's like, well, if sees this, and so now he's like, oh, so I'm not gonna get this shift. And
right, unless he draws some targeted discard, or is able to draw out. There you go. I was gonna say able to draw it out some other way.
yeah, but otherwise, that's kind of the worst case scenario where you say, hey, what do you have? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you have the antidote to this card I just played. That's
So this matchup is a finals rematch from DLC Toronto, where David Nunes took on level 9001, and David Nunes on the Amber Steel side had 2 removal spells in hand. Level 9001 goes, I will play an Ursula. I will sing Bare Necessities. You have nothing. Good day, sir.
I think he probably said it just like that.
Yeah,
And
I
I
heard
said
it.
good day.
I was in the front row.
And you're like, oh my goodness, we're in Toronto. You have to be very polite. You have to say, I'm sorry, but good day. But either way, we've got the singer, we got the choirs going. Last match we saw, you want to see an aggro deck with no removal, and we did, and we saw the downsides. But now he said, do not dis. Did you just make the tiniest beat? I heard-
I didn't want to cut you off.
yeah, so I heard. Pete. And that is the sound of the whistle of Pete going, I don't know what you're up to. You don't. And so we won't. We'll just go ahead and set up and say, guess what? I'm patient. And you
Right.
have to be patient on this deck.
Yeah, Hal could have just played a Bare Necessities. He knew it would hit a target on the previous turn. He's like, I want to get maximum value. I want to Bare Necessities while I have a Prince John in play.
And I do love this matchup because people can be so happy because the aggro people can go, aggro's not real, and discard can go, discard's not real, and whoever wins, I guess, is right.
Yeah.
But
And
here,
if Mohica only has 2 cards, you can now ink this. Yep, you can ink that and discard his hand.
yeah,
Wow, 2 removal spells. That's probably
that was
4 removal spells out of 12. So I'm gonna
that's-
feel good if I'm Hal.
Yeah, and I was looking because I was about to say, like, hey, sometimes you feel silly because you just have Prince John out there by himself. But Prince John says, oh, no, they're coming. I'm saving this table. It's a table for how many I want because you have a daisy. And the bad news is that you're not going to draw any cards with a Prince John at this point.
Right. Prince John can be quite taxing.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, that's good. But I mean, the taxing part is, yeah, you can only draw a card if you discard a card. You cannot discard what has not been drawn.
really, really looking to set up Under the Sea Kita. Does have the aerial, not an effective use of ink, but I mean, if you're just going to win the game, you just win the game, right? So, possibility, just play aerial here, search for it. Another possibility, just play the Kita so that you use all of your ink, and on the following turn, you can challenge with the Kita. So, in a bit of a predicament because as trading card game players, we are taught use all your ink every turn.
Well, I will say one time I heard Ed on, I think the ICL say, are you inking for fun? Or are you inking because you need to? And every time I ink, I have a crisis and I think of Ed Chu because I'm like, is this for business or pleasure?
Yep.
And it gets in your head because you're like, I don't know. Am I inking for the future? Am I inking because I'm greedy? And it's a very, very hard thing. So,
Right. Me and Liam just had this conversation of I have this philosophy. Oh, drawing your fifth removal spell out of 12 off the top and just closing out the game.
wow.
Yeah,
We were
that
like,
was
oh, we'll just talk about a few things here. And no, he went ahead and said, I will go ahead and do a little bit of my deck as well. That was Mohica that just won, right?
yes.
That was really
Yeah,
fast.
just I mean,
He said, you
that
guys,
was that was basically I skip your whole last turn by
yes,
drawing that Zeus.
that is insane. And it also shows that we're going to have to open a lot of packs if this next max goes soon. I only bought 4. I don't have enough for this. But yeah, I mean, it was scary because I would say in Mohica's position, it was scary.
Yeah, I mean, he's always basically a turn away from getting his entire board put on the bottom of
Yes.
his deck if
Yeah.
his opponent can assemble Singer 8.
It's
So,
it's like a tsunami wave coming. You can see it, and it's slow, but you're like, no, it's going to wipe out my entire deck.
yeah.
And in this case, it didn't get there. We have seen both decks kind of be scary, and by kind of I mean very scary. And now we get to see which one is going to have the last laugh.
Yeah, and of course, very important, Hal will be on the play this game. So there is always an advantage in that. But if there is a deck that can steal the play draw disparity, it is going to be a deck that has singers and songs.
Yeah, right. We're gonna have songs. Which ones are gonna make you cry more? And there's the sad ones. There's the party rock anthems here, but I think they're all sad songs, honestly. And it's funny to see You Have Forgotten Me, and honestly, this deck in general, because they built it in set 4, and then they said we're good.
Right. Apparently, someone is playing an entire set 1 through 4 version of this. Liam was
Oh,
telling
that's
me.
very beautiful. They said as a tribute, this one goes out to you. Rotation.
Yeah, I said I think they're just practicing for Japan, to be
That's
honest.
true. And but it's interesting because this is a great deck, and I brought it up before, where if you want to feel humbled, build this deck and play it against your friends because you're gonna say, I saw it. It was a 6-0 and it was really good. And then you're gonna be like, what do these cards even do together? Oh gosh, Lewis is scaring me. Every time Lewis has come up this weekend, something terrible has happened. But I would love to also point out JDZ, friend of the me and you and everyone because he's great. I was gonna say of the show, but this isn't my show. But either way, JDZ
It's our
plays
show for now.
Yeah, he plays a different deck every stream, and he is the happiest person I've ever seen. And when I turned into him playing this deck, his hood was up. He's wearing a hoodie. Hood was up, and he's like, I've never. It was locked into being
Yep.
locked out of being locked in. It changed him into like Sith Lord JDZ. So this deck, you have to focus because you are having to get value out of cards that will not work unless they have the other card you need.
Absolutely. This is one of those things we were saying about combo decks. I mean, I believe it was even round 2 when we were talking about it, where it's like, well, when you don't get the combo together, you're kind of just playing a bad sealed deck, a super sealed deck.
Yeah, right. I bought all these cards and they have nothing to do with each other. But this is very not terrible, but not good. We got some uses. We have
I think Hal's hand is quite good because the Louis on the play are going to line up very well with
this is a tale of like, don't worry, it's all gonna work out
I guess which card he's going to take.
I think that one was the right one.
Yeah.
But yes.
But yeah, the Louis line up very well with the removal not being able to take them out immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I'm not playing this deck, I don't think. It's because I saw that and said, "I'm gonna scoop. I don't understand how these are gonna work together without the Diablo." The Diablo line is very straightforward, but the other ones are a little bit more. Hear me out is what I would call this deck.
Yeah.
Hear me out. It's gonna work out.
One thing I'd like to point out from Mohica, on the play, you really want to play Mr. Smee. It curves very well into a Rapunzel. On the draw, you would really like to play a Singer 4. And that is, again, one of those ways to take back that play draw disparity as we see Hal draw a Lost in the Woods.
Yes. Okay. So I
So,
said no new cards, and he said, "Well, what about Lost in the Woods? Have you heard of this one?" And Lewis, so he said, "I'm okay. I'm a little jazzy here." So we have that Lewis, which gives an opposing character reckless, and he comes in exerted. And then we have Lost in the Woods,
a
which
set 4 card that
yeah,
has never been a staple. Song, it costs 4. All opposing characters get -2 strength until the start of your next turn.
yeah. So
So,
like a keto light,
yeah,
keto
a little Kita.
a body. It's like yeah, it's like it's not like keto in many ways, but in some ways it is. And then the way that it is it's your opponents, and it's gonna make your challenging math a little different. But you know what? It won't change songs.
Right. Opting to finish off that Ursula so that he can't just freely sing any of his 2-cost songs. Not only that, you would really like to get all of the actions out of your hand so that Bare Necessities and Ursulas can't hurt you.
They're not real. Uh, but yeah, we still see some more certified hits in the hand. He says, "You want to see a magic trick?" Why is it British? He said, "You want to see a magic
All
trick?"
magicians are British,
Yeah.
confirmed.
He said, anyway, I'm going to make you rue the day that songs were added to this game. And suddenly Lost in the Woods will be a very scary song because if we can get songs firing off with the muses and we got things bouncing and then yeah, we can turn things to hand. But
Oh, Pluto. That's great against the Muses.
yeah,
So last turn, when he played the Muses, he also inked a Sudden Chill, I believe.
yeah, I was surprised. I
Yeah,
was thought he was going to fire off. Oh, he got another one. So
he could have played Muses, sang with Prince John, returned to the Rhino, and then his Prince John would not be susceptible for any kind of challenge back while drawing an extra card. But also, he sees that he has this. You have forgotten me. He sees he has a chip. He might just be like, you know what? I don't need to risk this at all for
yeah.
anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and get that whole hand anyway.
You Forgot Me is a fascinating card because it is expensive. That is an
Right.
expensive card,
Oh,
but
Doc.
when played at the right time, I mean, Doc said, "What 2 cards?" But here we go. So this board is getting wider, but the muses could help do some bouncing. But the math is getting a little harder on Hal's side.
Right. Especially this Pluto is gonna be really hard without running a character into it with a challenge. It's gonna be pretty hard to get that down to an appropriate strength for Under the Sea or the Muses itself.
Yeah, and a term I love in TCGs is inevitability, and it's so fun that Lilo is the "I am the inevitable" card because you can discard as many, or you can banish her, but she can come back if
Yep,
you
she'll
want
be
to.
right back.
So technically, Mohica now permanently has at least one card in hand if he so chooses. And now we're gonna see something very silly: 2 Prince Johns against a man with no hand.
Right. But we do
But
need
what?
to we do need to establish Singer 8 and all these characters have ward.
Yes.
So that's probably the best thing that Hal could do for this turn, especially with the Lost in the Woods. He doesn't even need a Kita. He really, really just needs an Under the Sea off the top.
Yeah.
Under the Sea also getting around the Lilo that you pointed out earlier.
Yeah, that's a good point. It says, Lilo, please, did you take your swim lessons? And if, but either way, it this is rough because yeah, on board we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're not at that story on board, but we are at yikes on board because he has to do a ton of work, and that's why I think people generally will go safely to steal Emerald Steel discard over this Amber Steel because this one requires a little bit more finagling, a little more things working just
Yes.
in your favor.
Okay, found an Aerial, which could find an Under the Sea.
Yeah, so we gotta hope. Okay,
No, discarding the one card, which was Lady. Trying to, I'm sure Mohica trying to keep a hand in case Under the Sea.
he just
Found the Undersea right there,
did he.
off of the chip.
Wow, wow, that's really something there. So yeah, he got to discard a card. Yeah, and then and then he got to draw 2. So that
Yeah.
feels really magical. But now he has. We talk about turning the corner. He's seeing. He's going around the corner. And
Also, opting to use Muses to bounce the Muses.
Yeah, which is legal. You are allowed to do
Yes,
that. And the benefit of doing so is she's inkable, correct? She they
she is inkable, and they will not then be immediately challenged by Pluto.
Such a good point because yeah, that Pluto is a 5/5. I forget because sometimes you look, you're like, that's just a 1/5, right?
Right.
And then he goes, look at me, I'm all puffed up. So yeah, that
He,
is one of the benefits of the muses is sometimes you can do something risky like that and then immediately take it back and say, please, please don't hurt my muses. They didn't do anything wrong other than wipe your board.
now, with multiple songs in one turn, the Prince Johns will actually get some value because we can return the Daisy Duck to hand and then have them discard the Daisy Duck.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, we cut to the end of that. He said, "Oh, so what I'm doing here? You might not know," and so that can happen. Sometimes you cut to the end of the combo,
Right.
and he's like, "Oh, so I'm singing this. You can't discard it."
I
But
think
I'm
he only drew one off of that sudden chill. Prince John is drew two that time. Prince John is a May ability, of course. You can't deck your opponent with it.
Yeah, you keep doing it. But here we go. We see that Lilo persistent presence here. And we have Lady
A
No
lady.
Friends, which is really sad, but it is a card. And he's at 13, so he just needs to keep at it. But this is why I think Amber is one of the most feared decks because it looks like it's doing nothing. You're like, oh, that deck doesn't do anything. And then you start seeing it. You're like, wait, what are you? And then it starts, like we just saw with that pointing at the daisy and be like, no, you don't understand.
Right.
And so it's frustrating. It's a frustrating deck to be against because you're not doing a lot until you're doing all of it.
It actually looks like yeah, I was going to say he has two options here. He can either Cricky to clear the entire board or use Muse's triggers to clear the entire board.
He's like, well, well, we can do a little A. You know, like how he's keeping his hand. He's like, I
Yeah.
know Lilo's leaving. Where are we putting? And he said, wait,
It's like, oh, you're not going to? Okay.
I'm deciding if I can do anything more sinister. In this case, Painting the Roses Red is a song, and I believe it's from set one. Classic song here. And it doesn't, I'm going to say it doesn't matter what it does. It does, and we'll get to it, but it's a song. And that's just going to activate
Right.
another Muse's trigger here.
Yeah, it reduces up to 2 characters by 1 lore and draws a card from set 2.
Yeah, and that one strength. I mean, these are little weenie
Oh,
guys that. Oh
yep,
yeah,
apologies.
Thank you. These against a deck like this. I mean, there's not a lot of strong characters, but we can keep putting back on. We can keep doing it here. But is the inevitability in Hal's favor? He has a long road to go, but that's a lot of cards in hand.
Right. But with this Muses, I mean, he could even return the
Oh,
Cricky if he needed to
please
with
don't
painting
send.
the roses red.
Please don't send that dog into that crocodile.
By the way, I thought it was interesting. Lady and Pluto and play at the same time. Where's the Churn of Dogs deck? Because it could be on the right side of the screen right now.
True. Churn dogs, no churn, just dogs. But yeah, I am scared. Yeah, he said, please, I will not send my dog into. I will concede before I do such
Yeah.
a thing. And I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I said crocodile. That's an alligator because alligators are indigenous to North America. Crocodiles have a skinnier snout, and they're going to be in the Nile, so that's important. And I'm sure people care about that. And we're going to go back to the booth, and then I'm hoping Dan's going to get to the bottom of why these two people look so similar. Are they the same person? I don't know. But first, it's us.
It is.
We're back. That was quite a match and scary. It showed that both that why people should fear it. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Emerald is a deck. It didn't look like it was doing anything. I thought it was done. I was like, oh, so we're
Right.
done here.
I mean, that's what you've been saying about Ruby Sapphire as well, though, right? It's like give them a little rope-a-dope, like, oh no, I'm out, I have nothing.
Oh, and you
Call an
stand-
ambulance for you.
Yeah, not for me. And then before you know it, you're like, oh, I guess I'm gonna leave. And they're like, yeah, we don't need an interview. You did not win. And then like, that's how we do it. I'm sure. And it's scary because it's a lot of cards that really by itself, Lost in the Woods. No one says like, what, that one sells for like $100 on the market. No, it does not. And you can add these cards, Painting the Roses Reds, Lost in the Woods, that on their own, not super scary.
Right. Cards that you would actually be hard pressed to even find at the vendor table.